welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I think it's 8:30. It's hard to tell because once you start live, you can't see the time. But welcome. We're excited to be here. Last minute, I threw him into this.
Hi, everyone.
This is my husband, Brett. The topic we're going to be talking about today is traveling and staying fit while traveling, because you have goals, and if you travel a lot or even just road trips, weekend trips, that often, that can be a big challenge. I know it was for me for years. And I'm talking to him today about what I'm doing, and I'm like, you should just jump on for a second and share some of your things, because he, not only does he travel with me on the weekends, but he travels weekly, really.
Pretty much every week. Yeah.
3 out of the 4 weeks of the month, he's traveling for work. So he's got great tips. He stays on track while he travels most of the time. So I wanted him to share with you how he handles like client dinners, how he explains that he's not drinking to his clients when he's still hosting them. And there's a lot that goes into doing business on the road and keeping your health goals intact. So we're going to go ahead and get started in just a second here. As more people jump on, go ahead and send us hearts or likes so that we know you guys are on there and that we're rocking and rolling here. So we're tuning in from Austin, Texas. I do this show every Wednesday at 8:30 Central Standard Time. Different topics. I'm always open to covering different topics. So please message me, comment below what you would like me to cover. It's Wellness Wednesday, so we talk anything wellness, mindset. We talk about nutrition, fitness, exercise, beauty, anything that relates to living a wellness life. So if you're on, go ahead and throw us hearts and we'll get started. Like I said in the beginning, if you're just jumping on, I've got my husband on here with me last minute. Hi, Mom. My mom's on. She's always on.
Hi,
Thanks, Mom. And I thought, he would be a great input for how to do business on the road and stay healthy, because I have my own tips, but he specifically is not in the health and wellness business, and he's doing client dinners and things all the time. So we'll talk to him too. Okay, you ready?
Fire away.
Okay, so I'm going to go through some of my tips first. He'll chime in. We follow a lot of the same basic tips for traveling, but I'm going to ask him some questions at the end about how he does business on the road and stays fit and healthy. So the first thing I want to cover is your mindset. And I know you'll hear me say this constantly because it all starts here. It starts with what you're telling yourself about the trip. Can you stay on track and eat healthy and feel good and not sabotage your fitness goals while you're traveling? If you're telling yourself now that you can't, then you won't. You won't be able to do it. What you speak to yourself is what comes to fruition. So you have to be telling yourself preemptively before the trip even happens that you're going to be healthy, you're going to feel good, you're going to rock those new clothes you got for the trip, that you're going to actually see progress while you're on the trip. You have to start speaking that to yourself before the vacation has even started. That's where the mindset part comes. Before it even happens, you have to know and talk to yourself about how the trip's going to go. You create other sources of enjoyment and fun. For me, for so long, going on a vacation meant that I could go off plan, that I could have drinks and go crazy at the appetizers. And that's where I started to crazily focus on the enjoyment, that it was all about the food, and I'd be at this beautiful location and not even be appreciating the beaches that we were on, or if you're in the mountains, or just the beautiful scenery, or spending the time with the people that you're there with. It became, where are we going for lunch? I can't wait to have my margarita and chips and guac that I haven't had in months because I was training for X, Y, and Z. And so it starts with that mindset, and then second is finding other avenues of fulfillment, joy, and fun on the trip. So that means, that means finding joy in the hiking. If you're out in the mountains, stopping, getting out of your own head and just taking acknowledgement for where you are in the moment and gratitude for where you are with the people that you are with on the trip, and finding joy in other places. Sometimes if I am getting too excited about our meal, it's like I know that that's not healthy. So you have to really start to look around your surroundings and the scenery of the trip that you're in, and just make sure that you have other ways to tap into happiness and joy on your vacation. It can't all be about the food, because it was for me for a really long time, because I had deprived myself and my mindset wasn't right. I wasn't looking at running on the beach in Florida as a source of joy. So that's the first thing, is finding other things that categorize, or other things that are going to give you that fun, that fulfillment, that joy, that appreciation of the trip. This is all stuff you do before you're even on the trip. So that has to be your intention going on the trip. Then once you're there, it's finding other sources of joy and fulfillment, not the food.
Want me to chime in here for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
And not feeling guilty about staying on plan, and people are going to give you crap and tell you what's the point, and have fun or live a little.
You only live once.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time.
You just can't fall for it. If you made your mind up ahead of time that you're going to be clean and compliant and healthy, or whatever your goals are, stick to them. And just, I mean, I've done this stuff for a long time and have caught a world of flack from people, and you just have to just stick to your guns. And when you get to a point where you want to, and you take your shirt off and you look in good shape, a lot of people will be jealous and envious, and it's just hard. You don't have to always be 100% compliant, but if you let people guilt you into it, you'll never get to the goals you want. And I think that I've fallen in that trap plenty of times, but you just have to have the right mindset ahead of time.
Yeah, and I think really remembering your long-term goals. You're really only going to get like a 15 or 20 minute high off of a cheeseburger. I mean, let's be honest. Oh, it tastes so good. Okay, was it really worth it? Now you're bloated for the rest of the trip. You can't even get in that bikini you bought because your stomach looks like it's 3 months pregnant. And you've got hours of grief because you haven't eaten that way in forever, and now your stomach hurts. Is it really worth it? So you have to think beyond what that 15 minutes I'm so hungry in front of that burger is going to do for you. You know what? I'm going to go a different route. Maybe your splurge is a glass of wine or something else, and then you can rock your bathing suit, and you're going to remember that memory of having fun on the beach and feeling confident a lot longer than you're going to remember the good burger you had. So you have to just go through all of these things, and it's a journey, you guys. Like, it's just, you're always going through it. You're just always taking that step forward, always trying to see how you can improve, because it really is about the mindset. And until you do the mindset, you're never going to find true freedom in a healthy lifestyle. So the other quick, more practical tips I have are stick to your same morning routine and through lunch. I always, when I'm traveling, start my day the same way I started at home. Whether that for you is tea or coffee. For me, I have a little herbal tea in the morning, an adaptogenic herb tea. I stick with that no matter what. And then I have a shake. That's my morning routine. I stick with that. I even do my gratitude and everything when I'm traveling. My lunch, same thing. I carry that through to lunch. And then I save any splurges, fun, because when you're traveling, you do want to experience, the food and the fun and the culture of the different areas that you're going. So I save that, though, for, dinner time, or after you showered at the end of the day and you're getting all dressed up to go out to dinner, and take in the whole experience, not just about the food. It's the whole experience, the good wine you're drinking with whatever you're eating. And then that's where I allow myself to splurge a little and have some fun, is at that dinner time. So during the day, I eat clean, I eat healthy, I follow my same morning routines, I get my workouts in, because if you cut out the workouts, it's going to feel harder for you anyways, just mentally, because you're not in your normal gym, you're not in your normal place. But if you cut out the workouts, that's just one less thing that's different from your daily routine. And it's all about how good you feel on the trip that's going to create the experience and those really good memories. You're like, oh, I had so much fun. It's because you felt really good. Your energy was good. You had energy. You worked out. You didn't feel lethargic like a bloated whale after day one. So same morning routine and lunch routine. Stick with your workouts, even if it feels like sluggish and hard because you had a glass of wine or something the night before. Just get it done. You'll feel a million times better, and keep as much of your daily routine as you can normal on the trip. And then as far as flying goes, because that's another animal if you're flying a lot, water is huge. Just continue to pump the water. On the days I'm flying, I make a conscious effort to drink more water than I normally would. I bring snacks with me to the airport. All food can go right through the little belt. Just when we were flying back here to Austin, my dad was bringing us down to Midway. I made him pull off to a Whole Foods, and I ran inside and I grabbed some of my little things that I need. I had hard-boiled eggs, jicama. What else did I have? Coconut chips going through the little, what is that called?
The security belt?
Security belt at the airport. Because I knew if I didn't have that with me, Midway's actually changed a little bit. Now they have some options. P.S. if you're in Chicago. But I knew if I didn't have that with me, my options at the airport meant that I wasn't going to be eating until I got home. So bring your snacks with you. We use shakes a lot. Our shakes save us when we're traveling. And food can go through security. And then I always keep my indulgences and my glasses of wine, things like that, at the evening time because I've had a fun day filled with energy, and I've stuck to my routine, so I feel good. This is all about how good you feel. So those are my tips, and I'll recap, but I want to get to him because you travel a lot for business. So what are your top 2 things that you have to do in order to stay on track when you're traveling just for a trip? And then I'll talk about meetings.
Well, I think one of the things I like to do is you have to prepare when you travel. So normally when I travel, it's for at least 2 nights out of the week. So I'll literally strategically pick a hotel that is by a good restaurant or a healthy, Chipotle, or, if it all costs, you can make a Chipotle a fairly healthy meal. And literally,
he travels to some Timbuktu places, and that makes it tricky. So he tries to find, even restaurants, if there's not a grocery store, that he knows he can go in there and say, I want this, this, and that to make it clean.
And then that way, I know where I'm going to eat. For lunch, dinner, and breakfast, I like to do what Lucy does. I'll have a shake in the morning along with the elixir drink. Is that what you like to call it that we have in the morning? And then I'll carry...
He might not know all the terms, but he follows.
And I usually keep snacks with me, like a protein bar with the nutritional line that we use. And then a lot of times I'll have like almonds or cashews with me if I get something, an urge for saltiness. Because the worst thing you can do on the road is you're by yourself. You don't want to deal with that. So what do? You go to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A and eat like 1,500 calories worth of crap. Then you go to bed and just eat crap, and then you feel like crap. You don't want to work out, and then you get back, you're out of your routine, and it's like a vicious cycle if you're doing it over and over again. So preparation, and then with the client dinners, which I'm sure a lot of you do in some form or fashion, I don't eat perfect all the time, and the last thing I want to do is waste a good cheat day on people I'm trying to sell stuff to. So I actually did this last week. Our company had a big dinner. I think we had like 60 or 70 people we invited, and it was in Dallas, this big steak dinner with a lot of wine and booze being slung around. So I grabbed the waiter ahead of time and told him, look, hey dude, I'm not drinking tonight. Can you make me a drink that looks like a vodka soda? And I'm going to order it, and I'm going to tell you, can I have a vodka soda? But just bring me soda water with a lime in it. And no one had a clue I wasn't drinking.
I do that a lot too on the weekends. I tell the bartender or the waiter ahead of time, hey, and I'm telling my secrets, and all my friends are on here, so.
She's not pregnant.
I'm not pregnant, but I do this. We're at that phase where if you're not drinking, everybody thinks you're like having 7 children. But, so I do that a lot too. I just tell the bartender, hey, I'm not drinking tonight. Can you make me a water with a lemon or a lime in a cocktail glass? It's the easiest. I mean, we do it all the time.
Yeah. So the 2 biggest things is, don't be afraid to do something like that, and then order a healthy meal when you're out. Get a salad. Don't put all the crap on it, like the cheese and the croutons, and I mean bacon's okay in moderation. And then I'd make sure your dressing's healthy, and get double up on the meat. Get chicken or shrimp or steak. Like that's pretty good and compliant. And then when you come home at night and you're in your hotel room, Don't go to the junk drawer that they have and eat the chocolates and stuff. If you need to, stop at the grocery store and pick up some healthy stuff at Whole Foods to snack on. You don't have to starve yourself or anything. And what I've actually done a few times in my last few trips is actually planned some of our a cleanse, which is just our intermittent fasting for 2 days, so I don't even have to worry about it. And I'm I'm so busy I don't even realize that I'm fasting. So that's been something I've been doing also. But it really helps, because if you can get in some really bad habits if you're on the road a lot, either whether it's on the weekends or during
There's
the week.
a lot of variables. You're not sleeping in the same bed. You're traveling. You're on planes. So if you let your nutrition and your health habits, your exercise go, you're putting your immune system up for risk. You're never going to allow your body to get into balance and get into a routine, and therefore that means you're just shutting off your body's ability to burn fat. So, and we've both been on a journey with this, but I feel like we've this last year or so been really awesome with traveling and keeping our lifestyle up while traveling, and also not feeling like we're missing out. Because for example, we were in Vegas, and then I'll wrap this up because I don't want it to go too long, but we were in Vegas to see George Strait in, what month was that? May? April. And Vegas is tricky, right? Because there's food and drinks everywhere, and good food and drinks. But what we did was we got up in the morning, we had our tea, we had our shakes, we went and worked out. We would go hang out by the pool. We brought all of our snacks with us. And then we went to the concert or whatever we had going on, and then we would go out for dinner and have a nice drink. And then the morning we would get up, have our shake, have our tea, go work out. So we kept that part of our routine a staple for those 3 days that we were in Vegas, and it did not affect us at all. So I always say keep as much of your daily routine normal as possible while you're traveling. Any other tips that you have?
I mean, that's a good starting point. I mean, lay off the sugary stuff and the processed foods, and I mean, you can eat all the meat that you want and the veggies, and just try and do that, and
I think the main thing is just planning before you even go on the trip.
Yeah.
So that's really all we wanted to cover. Like I said, it's all about the mindset. So start there. Think about what your intention is for the trip. Think about how you're going to go about your sticking to your healthy lifestyle on the trip before you've even gotten there. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for jumping on. We will be on, I will be on next week. Sorry, you're not coming on with me next week.
Did I do that bad?
No, you're fine. So, if you have any topics, just drop them in the comments.
Why do you look better in the lighting than I do?
Okay, let's see. I'm going to go through and see if there are any questions. Yeah, Dustin, you're just kind of, I don't know what to tell you about Pittsburgh. That's a lost cause. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I've gotten salads at Permane Brothers Sandwiches. I may have been the only person that had ever done that.
And probably only will be the only
person. And it wasn't bad. And I ate it. I think we went there when we were home for Thanksgiving, right?
I believe we did.
Yeah, so you can eat healthy at Permane Brothers. Hi, JP. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks, Mal. So fun seeing you today. Yes, my mother loves the elixir. She used the same stuff. So the cocktail drink we were talking about, I did that recently, so that's what they're all commenting about. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. Awesome. Thanks for jumping on. If you have any topics, let us know, and I will do a show on it. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.